Most people believe that intelligence protects them from financial problems. Good education, stable career, smart decisions. On paper, everything looks perfect. But quietly, something very different is happening. Across the world, highly educated and intelligent people are feeling more stressed about money than ever before. Not because they are irresponsible, not because they make obvious mistakes, but because the rules around money have changed. Smart people were taught to play it safe, save money, avoid risk, work harder when things get difficult. For decades, that advice worked. Today, it doesn't. Prices rise faster than salaries. Basic living costs grow every year. And money that sits still slowly loses value. The problem is not that smart people earn too little. The problem is that their money is trapped in systems that no longer protect them. So they respond the only way they know how. They work longer hours. They push harder. They delay rest. From the outside, they look successful. From the inside, they feel pressure. Every raise disappears. Every year feels tighter than the last. And no one explains why. This creates a dangerous illusion. It feels like you're doing something wrong. But in reality, you're following outdated rules in a modern system. And unless you recognize that shift, intelligence alone will never be enough to feel financially secure. Here's something most people never realize. The real reason money feels stressful isn't because life is expensive. It's because people are trained to react to money, not control it. Think about this. When your salary comes in, what's the first thing most people do? They pay bills. They clear dues. They spend what's left. Money enters, and immediately leaves. But wealthy people do something uncomfortable. They pause. Before spending anything, they ask one question. Where should this money go so it comes back bigger? This is where the gap starts. Most people treat money like a reward. Rich people treat money like a tool. A hammer doesn't feel good or bad. It either builds something, or it doesn't. Now here's the part nobody likes to hear. Hardworking people are often too loyal to spending habits that keep them poor. Subscriptions they don't need. Lifestyle upgrades they can't afford yet. And small daily expenses that quietly destroy future freedom. Individually, they feel harmless. Together, they are deadly. Wealthy people don't avoid spending. They avoid careless spending. Every dollar has an assignment. If it doesn't grow, protect, or multiply, it doesn't deserve to stay. This mindset shift doesn't make life boring. It makes life lighter. Because when money stops controlling your emotions, your decisions become clearer, and your future becomes predictable. And once that happens, money stops being the problem. It becomes leverage. There is one mistake that quietly ruins financial stability, even for intelligent and hardworking people. They believe income is the solution. If money problems appear, they assume earning more will fix everything. At first, it works. A higher salary feels like relief. Bills become easier to pay. Life feels lighter. But then something predictable happens. Expenses slowly rise to match income. Comfort increases. Commitments increase. And suddenly, the extra money disappears. This cycle repeats again and again. The problem is not income. The problem is dependency. When your entire financial life depends on one source of income, you are always one problem away from stress. A job loss. A health issue. An unexpected expense. Smart people ignore this risk because they trust their ability to recover. They think, I'll figure it out if something happens. But money does not reward intelligence in emergencies. It rewards preparation. Wealthy people understand this early. They don't try to earn endlessly more. They try to reduce fragility. They build buffers. They reduce fixed obligations. They create breathing room. This is why two people with the same income can live completely different financial lives. One feels trapped. The other feels calm. Not because of luck, but because of structure. And without structure, even high income becomes a financial prison. Another quiet problem makes this situation worse. Most people never see the full picture of their money. They know how much they earn. They know how much they spend. But they don't know where control is leaking. Small fixed costs slowly take over. Rent, subscriptions, insurance, monthly payments. Individually, none of these feel dangerous. Together, they remove flexibility. This is how people become financially fragile without feeling irresponsible. When income drops even slightly, pressure appears immediately. Smart people try to fix this by being efficient. They optimize spending. They negotiate prices. They search for better deals. But efficiency does not fix fragility. Wealthy people focus on something different. They focus on resilience. Resilience means being able to absorb shocks without panic. It means having space to breathe, space to think, space to decide calmly. This is why wealthy people protect simplicity. They avoid locking themselves into complex financial lives. Fewer obligations, fewer commitments, more optionality. Because when money becomes simple, decisions become clearer. And clarity is what turns income into long-term stability. Without it, even smart decisions feel exhausting. There is one habit that quietly separates financial stress from financial calm. It's not earning more. It's not extreme saving. It's how decisions are repeated. Most people make money decisions emotionally. They decide based on mood, pressure, or fear. When things feel tight, they panic. When things feel comfortable, they relax. This creates inconsistency. Wealthy people reduce emotion by repeating the same simple actions again and again. They don't debate every choice. They don't overthink every month. They standardize decisions. Money moves the same way each time it comes in. Bills are handled automatically. Spending stays predictable. Saving and investing happen without drama. This removes fatigue. Because decision fatigue is one of the biggest financial killers. When every month feels different, mistakes become easier. When every month feels similar, progress becomes boring. And boring progress is the safest kind. This is why two people with similar income end up in very different places. One constantly reacts. The other quietly compounds. Not because one is smarter, but because one removed emotion from money decisions. And once emotion is removed, money stops feeling heavy. It becomes manageable, then predictable, then stable. At some point, everything becomes clear. Money problems are not solved by trying harder. They are solved by changing structure. People who feel calm about money didn't get lucky. They stopped building fragile lives. They chose fewer obligations. They chose repeatable decisions. They chose systems over stress. This doesn't require genius. It requires honesty. Honesty about what actually creates pressure. Honesty about what removes freedom. The moment money stops surprising you, fear disappears. Bills feel predictable. Decisions feel slower. Life feels lighter. This is what stability looks like. Not wealth on display. Not constant upgrades. Just control. And control compounds quietly. When income rises, it doesn't create chaos. When income drops, it doesn't create panic. Because the foundation is solid. Once you understand this, you stop chasing more and start protecting what matters. That shift doesn't make life smaller. It makes life sustainable. And sustainability is what keeps people free long after excitement fades.